Hello, my name is Anne and this is Toby. And as I mentioned to you the other day, we are both in desperate need of a haircut. I mean, would you just look at that cow's leg? And Toby, you can hardly see his eyes. But I'm happy to say we both have appointments. Mine's next week and his is in 2 weeks. So yay! So today we are talking about quilting. If you are new to my channel, every 2 weeks I do a little 10-minute video each day about all the crafts that I love. Knitting, crochet, cross stitch, and quilting. And on Mondays, I normally just have a chit chat. Today being Friday, it's all about the quilting. Now, I'm going to do something a little different. Normally I sit here and chit chat with you and I show you like stuff that I'm making. But this time I'm going to turn the camera down and show you better, I think, on my tabletop so you get a better view. If you think that's a better idea, let me know below and I'll continue to do that. If you prefer me to Vanna White the stuff, well, then I'll do it that way too, whichever is easier. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you some purchases I got while I was gone. And the one quilt that I've been trying to work on the most, plus a new block. So let's have a look. Okay. So let's start with what I got while I was gone away. Oh, that's not very good English, is it? While I was away in Toronto with my dad, brother, and hubby last week. I got this magazine. And the reason that I bought this magazine, which of course you can buy anywhere you like in any store, this is actually a British magazine, but there were two things I really liked in it. The first thing that I liked, and the reason I bought it, was this. You got some quilting stencils. Now, I have never had quilting stencils, have never used them, but because I'm trying to learn all the various art around quilting, I've done straight line quilting, I thought it would be fun to try these other, I really like that one. Now, I'm assuming you put it on your piece of fabric, and I guess they come out, yeah, and then you must, with a pen, like one of those, what's the name, pens, can't think of the name of it, washable pens. I'm assuming that you, gosh, this is actually kind of cool, pulling out all these bits. I got carried away there, sorry. I'm assuming that's what you do, and then you obviously quilt on the lines and the washable mark comes out. So it came with 5. I don't know how much of a pain it will be to do it, shift it. You would probably spend more time trying to organize the Toby is definitely bothered about something out there, but I thought it would be fun to try, and they came free in the magazine, so why not? And I'm sure you don't have to use every single line on here. If you just wanted to do that, I'm sure that would also be perfectly fine. Or if you just wanted the circle, because I cannot draw a circle freehand. So I thought that was a cool little free gift. So that's why I actually bought the magazine. But there's also 2 patterns in here I really liked. There's this one, which is called Chic Cabin, and it's a switch on a log cabin quilt. I've never done a log cabin quilt anyway. And the other one that I really liked was, now can I find it? I had them marked off. This one. And I like this one because you can do it this way, which I think is lovely with your white borders sashing in between each of the blocks, or you can do it that way with no sashing in between the blocks and an extra block added to just, but what a difference that makes. It's the same block. So that to that, that to that, like, blows my mind what you can do with a block. So this was the first thing that I bought while I was gone. Now, of course, while I was away, I got lots of mail. The first thing that came in was the finishing kit for the Augusto sampler. I have not started this yet, but I am dying to. Oh, but look at this beautiful fabric. Now, you don't have to get the finishing kits. You get enough in your box for the border and the fabric to make all your little pieces here. But if you have your own background fabric, then a white or whatever, you can just use that, and then your border. But look at this. Look at this. Isn't that, like, you can't tell that from the picture that that's little tiny X's on there. I just love it. And they're like in a greenish tealy color. Oh my gosh. So I did not have any of that fabric, obviously, and nor did I have this, which will be for the binding. Isn't that beautiful? So that came in the mail. So now I can get started on that quilt. I also ordered myself a new ruler. And this is 18.5 inches by 6.5, which I believe is a good standard one for doing fat quarters. So I bought that. Then, of course, the backing came in from the fat quarter shop for the Bats and Boos. So now I can start to finish that and hopefully use one of those stencils on this to quilt it. My biggest problem, I think, and where I went wrong, even on the two that I have quilted, the little table runner, I did straight lines, and then with the pink baby quilt, the Oh My Stars, I definitely did that like a crosshatch, I think you call it. But I think my biggest problem is I go too fast. I think I'm in such a rush to get the thing finished that I should take more time. Whether it means it takes me 2 or 3 days and I have to leave it on the machine, I don't know, but I don't want to mess up my Bats and Boos, so I'm going to be very careful with it. So now I have the fabric for that, for the backing. And I also got the fabric in for the leaves one with the trailers. Isn't that gorgeous? Look, Diana, there's your trailer. There's my trailer. Anybody else got a trailer? Anyway, I just love this. I got 3 meters. I actually don't think I need 3 meters, but I'll have leftover. And I might make some table mats to go in the trailer. Then the other thing that I purchased and that arrived while I was gone is this. Now, if you know me, you know I love quilting and you know I love planners. I am a planner addict, also a pen addict, as my husband would tell you. And this is the most expensive planner I have ever bought in my entire life. But I wanted it. And I wanted it for 2 reasons. It's actually more like 3 things in one. So the first thing that it is it's a sewing tool. So you can write down all the stuff you've got, the things you need, deadlines if you're making a quilt for a specific thing. You get weekly goals, yearly goals, and goal planning for the month. You also get 12, I think it is, maybe not 12, maybe 8 patterns this being one of them. And then it just becomes an agenda, a planner. So I love this. I think I might, all these little things down at the bottom here, I might change some of these up. Obviously the quilting to do. Instead of shopping list, I might do cross stitch to do, knitting to do, and crochet to do for my week, so that I know what I'm doing that week and what I need to work on, and then I can just put them in here, plus my other, you know, things like when I have Tristan and stuff like that. So I thought this was lovely. It's just a plain old planner, but and then you, again, you come back to all the planning that you need to do for that month. Then at the back is all the patterns that are included and the instructions on how to make them. Then at the very back again, you have projects at a glance, and so you can write down the days you started it or who it's for and so on. Now this I found great, and what one of the girls did was, instead of ticking, which is what I would do, she colored in, so it actually makes it so pretty looking to see all the blocks colored in. And then you have an actual project planner where you can put bits of fabric, you can put fill in all the details, and then what it is you have to do. This I love, the steps to take, because like even when I'm working on the quilt I'm working on currently, which I'll show you in a minute, there are various steps, and obviously you can't get them all done in one day, but it gives you an idea how many days it's going to take you to make a quilt. And there's loads of these, so there's a whole bunch of them. And then at the very back, there's if you're doing swaps. I don't know what that's all about, but... And then at the very back is a reference guide, which gives you lots of really cool, and some notes. God, this is cool too. Look at this one. It gives you an idea of the common cuts of fabric and colors. So this to me was like a reference book. It's a project book. It's a pattern book. So it's like 4 or 5 books in one. I'm not going to tell you how much it cost me, but it was a lot of money, and I really, really like it. So that I will find very useful in starting in 2022. What I might do is I might actually take some of the pages and photocopy them so I can use them now. Okay, so on to what I was working on. As you know, I've been working on this, which was July's sample box, and I am actually making the 3 table runners for Christmas gifts. I had already made up and had shown you the 6 blocks that I had done for the flower. So those are all done and on my wall. And then I had done just this part before I went away. And when I came back last night, I spent the evening making all these. I actually made 6 of them. So these are all made up. Here's my backs. And I don't know why people always want to look at backs, but they do. So I have to make 5 more of these in the various different colors before they get sewn together. And here's what I found that was kind of cool. So here's this flower, and this one will join, and look, it'll join like right there. Isn't that sweet? And then the next one will come here, and so on and so on. Anyway, so that's where I'm up to with that. So if I was using that little book, my next stage would be to do these. The next stage would be to sew all of the 3 together, because there's going to be 4 in a row, as you can see from that. And then after that, I would be doing the sashings and then getting it ready to quilt. So there's at least 3 or 4 more steps before I can start quilting this. And again, this is a nice little one that I could probably use one of the these things to draw on and quilt. I don't know which one I'd go with, but so this is a small enough project that I could try that. So that is my petunia. And lastly, what I wanted to show you was this. I made this today, and this is the Underground Railroad block of the month for September. Now, I did tell you I joined a Quilters Guild, the one in Kempville, not far from where I live, and I also signed up for the block of the month. And this year, their block of the month is all about the Underground Railway and how the slaves and would follow the directions or signs or signals from quilts that were hung up outside of their homes by people helping them. And it fascinated me, completely fascinated me how this worked. So this particular quilt is known as Jacob's Ladder, this block, Jacob's Ladder, or Road to California, or The Tale of Benjamin's Kite, The Trail of the Covered Wagon, Stepping Stones, Wagging Tracks. I guess there's all kinds of different names for this particular block. But this was used so that people they knew by looking at it which way to go. Because this block, because it's got the alternative path of dark and light, it was used to show direction. So if you had all these blocks sewn together and hanging up outside, they would know which direction they were all supposed to go. And I thought that this was just absolutely amazing, the story behind it. So anyway, I got that all sewn up for my guild meeting, so I will be sending that off to them to see, so that on Zoom. But isn't that pretty? I really liked it. It's a 12.5-inch block, and yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. So, did you like that better, having a look at it like flat on the thing table without me trying to hold it up and get all light through it and everything? Hopefully you like that way better. One of the things I did forget to show you, I never really realized the cotton thread made a big difference in quilting. I've always ever just used a polyester and for all my sewing needs. But a lot of people seem to be very keen on using 100% cotton, and a specific brand that I find people are buying is Aurifil, and I'd never heard of it. I have seen it in my local quilt store, but I had never tried it, only because it's more expensive and it's like, but I decided I may as well try it. So I did get some, and Kimberly from the Fat Quarter Shop this is the color she uses all the time on every single type of quilt, which is, it's 2000, and I think it's almost like a beige color. Now I like a very light gray or beige when I'm quilting, because again, if it's white, it doesn't really show up too much, and on a colored, it doesn't even show up either. So anyway, I thought I'd give this a try, so I'll let you know how I get on with a real 100% cotton fabulous thread. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I haven't rabbited on way too much as usual. Give me some notes below. Let me know if you want me to do some more actual sewing, and I can show you. I'm hoping my Cotton Cuts mystery clue 3 comes in this week, coming up. And if it does, I will be quite happy to put that together for you all so that you can watch me sewing it and learn a few tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. Anyway, I am off for a cup of tea. I hope you have enjoyed your cup of tea and me rabbiting on about my quilting. See you in a couple of weeks. Bye.